Hi, so I'm your mom, and I have been waiting a while before I make my own video to you, just because. But, yeah. So I thought it would be kind of important that you hear from different parts of your family, so that way you know no matter what happens, you're loved and you're cared about through any ups and downs that might happen in your life. So today is September 21st, 2018, and I am 14 weeks pregnant for you. I know that as you get older, you might be curious about things from when you were in my stomach or from when you were a baby, and that's kind of why I think it's important to write the letters and to make the scrapbook that I'm making you, and to make the videos where I talk to your aunts, your grandma, who does not like being called grandma, she's gonna want to be called Nana, your dad, your uncles, your entire family, so you know no matter what, you're loved and you're cared about. And I think it's important that you'll be able to look back on these moments as much as myself, and you'll be able to know what happened. So if you ever had any questions about anything, you could look at the videos or look in the scrapbook or read the letters whenever you're upset or you have a question about anything. So I knew that there was a few things that I wanted to talk about, like some fair warnings about being in this family. For example, your father is not always the best listener. He's not. He tries, but he's not always the best listener. But he'll try. And sometimes he gets a little cloudy-minded every now and again, to where if you'll tell him something, he'll forget. So there's a fair warning on that. When it comes to my older brother, your Uncle Robert, or Uncle Robbie, he is one of my best friends. And fair warning, he can make somewhat of offensive jokes, but they're not meant to hurt anyone. If he makes a joke to upset you, you need to let him know that it upset you, because that's not his intention when he makes any jokes. Okay, my younger brother, your Uncle Connor, he's a giant jokester, and every now and again he might give a little bit of an attitude with certain things, but he doesn't for the most part. He's a big-hearted kid right now, and he just, when you need someone, he's there. That's just what kind of a person he is. Now, you have two aunts who are twins, and you might get them mixed up from time to time. I have never, but it is a possibility for some people. So, your Aunt Emma. Your Aunt Emma is a very sassy person. She loves makeup and loves fashion, and so far throughout her schooling, she's been pretty popular, and she's very intelligent. But with certain things, she's a little bit sassy, a little bit dramatic with some things, and you just have to expect that, because that's just who she is as a person, and overall it does make her more lovable. Your Aunt Madison has gone through loads of changes through her entire life. She Now, neither one of your aunts have had the best self-esteem growing up, so they are a little bit sensitive. But Madison, she'll understand certain points of view with certain things, but every now and again, if you offend her, it's kind of hard to come back from that, and she will say some things that she doesn't mean. She said things to me that she didn't mean, or that she didn't quite understand, and if it hurts, you need to let her know as well, because it can't be fixed unless you're open about it. Your Nana, who is my mother, who does not like to be called Grandma, so she'll prefer to be called Nana. She's a great woman. She is a very strong person, and for practically my entire life, she has been both a mother and a father to me. Your Nana is an overprotective person. If anyone tries to hurt you, she will put them in their place. She's always there as a comfort to talk if you never feel like you can talk to me. I want you to know you can talk to her. But some topics that might be a little bit harder to talk to her about are sometimes, based on what happened with me, she tenses up about certain topics like sexuality. I had a very bad experience with it, and the only reason she has a hard time talking about it is because it scares her. It scares her because of how things are. Then you have, well, for the most part though, you'll be able to talk to her just about anything. But she'll love you no matter what. There is somebody who is maybe going to be a part of your life. It all depends on how things go between him and Nana. It would be like Pop or something like that, because I don't know what his preference would be to be called, but in a sense he would be like a grandfather to you. He is not my biological father, but for 3 years of my life, it has been an on again, off again thing to where things have been kind of tense. Like right now, things are very, very tense between him and your Nana, but he makes mistakes, and he makes a lot of mistakes. His intention isn't to hurt anyone. He's a very scared person with a lot of things, and he sometimes says things that he really shouldn't, and he doesn't always realize it. One thing that him and your Nana can both agree on is certain things they believe that females are supposed to do and the male is supposed to do. For example, a large thing they believe is that a lot of the cleaning of the house gets put on the female, except with certain exceptions like taking out the garbage. They believe that that's supposed to be for the dudes. Football, your Nana has a strong belief because she knows that some of the boys play a lot rougher than the girls. So she will not be okay with a girl playing football with a ton of boys if she is not physically strong enough to handle it, because she could get really, really hurt. Then there is your dad, which I partially gave you one tip about, but if you like cars, he's all about it. Your dad, just like your Uncle Robbie, tells really offensive jokes. It's not meant to hurt anyone. He just sometimes takes it a little too far. And sometimes you don't know if he's joking. And if that ever happens, you need to speak up about it. Then there is your grandmother, which is your dad's mom. That's your Grandma April. And she's a nurse. So, but also your Nana also studied nursing for a while. So if you get hurt, they're both there to help you. And they both love you completely. To pieces. And there's your aunt Jillian. Sorry, I get tongue twisted. But your aunt Jillian, she's a good person. She is. She's just a little... She needs certain medications as she grows. So if she seems slightly temperamental sometimes or upset, it's not her fault. You have your grandpa, Paul, who is your father's dad, and he's a tough love person. And that's for the simple fact that he's had so many good things in his life taken from him by unfortunate events. So, if he seems a little rough around the edges, don't take it to heart. And you have your Uncle Nathan. And your Uncle Nathan has made some bad choices in the past. But I like to believe that he is becoming a better person with each passing day. He is very excited to meet you, just as well as everyone else is. Then there will also be certain family members on both mine and your father's side who you will probably never meet. I can't speak for your father on why you will not meet certain family members on his side. But on my side, based off of personal experience with some of those individuals, they're not the kindest of people. And I don't want you to be around that. I don't want to put you in a situation where somebody tries to tear you down. I've had to deal with that my entire life. So, we have a lot of pets. We have quite a few cats. And we do have a dog, and her name is Sophie. And she will protect you with every fiber in her body. She stays by my side practically all the time, and it's because I have you in my belly. Now, of course, then there's me. Now, because I'm only 14 weeks pregnant with you, I don't know if you're a boy or if you're a girl. I don't know yet. But either way, I'm gonna love you. Right now, though, I will tell you, your father thinks you're going to be a girl, and I think you might be a boy. Your name, if you are a boy, will be Grayson Carter Kolb. And if you're a girl, it would be Anastasia Grace Kolb. We were leaning towards Luna, but after some talk, we decided on Anastasia. Your due date is the 22nd of March, so we'll see down the line when you're born if you follow up with your due date. I want you to know that you, even if it doesn't always seem like it, you can always come to me. There are very few things in my life that I haven't dealt with. And even if it seems like I don't understand, I will try my best to be as understanding as possible to whatever it might be that you're going through. I want you to know that you're always loved. Through every rough moment in your life when you feel like the entire world is against you, you will always be loved, and you will always be cared for. After I found out that I was pregnant for you, me and your father did have a long discussion, as well as myself and your grandparents, about what to do, because I am currently a senior in high school, but I am 18. So good thing I'm 18, not 14, which makes things slightly easier, especially because I am a senior in high school. So it makes transitioning a lot easier. But yeah, we had a long talk and very long discussion about what would be best for us and what would be best for you, and we didn't fully know. We did talk about all the options. I personally can never do abortion. That's very well known to everyone in my family, and I've told people multiple times if anything like this did ever happen, I would never be able to do abortion, maybe adoption. So that was a consideration in the beginning until I heard your heartbeat, and I instantly fell in love, and I knew, and I was happy that me and your father were on the same page of how in love with you we already were. There's a very important thing I want you to know. That just because we weren't purposely trying to create you, that doesn't make you a mistake of a human. You're never a mistake. If anything, you've brought so many changes into my life already, and you're not even fully developed yet. You're not even out inside of the world yet, and you have already brought so many changes to who I am as a person, and they are the best changes ever. I am way more motivated, I'm way more focused on things, and my entire life rises and sets on you. I'm excited to find out who you're gonna be. I'm excited to get to see you physically and hold you physically. I'm excited for every stepping stone of your life. I'm overall really excited. I know that life can be a very complicated thing. And as you get older, depending on the things that happen, because life is unpredictable, but you will notice how complicated things can be. And it's never easy to predict what's going to happen, because in life, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Any choice you make in life leads up to the exact moment where you are. And honestly, even if I could go back and stop what had happened where I am now carrying you, I want you to know I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't. I love you so much. You are made completely and utterly out of love and affection, and it's very important to me that you know that. There's not one tiny bit of you that I regret at all. That's the cats in the background, by the way. They're knocking everything off the table. But anyway, if you have any questions, like what it was like when I had you in my belly, well, one thing is for certain, you made me crave pancakes, eggs, and bacon so much, as well as grilled cheese and chocolate milk. Those were the main things that you gave me cravings for. A big thing that you had caused me to be nauseous for was chicken. Chicken and deep fried food. I couldn't have it at all. And which sucked because I did enjoy some deep fried foods like chicken and chicken patty and obviously chicken tender. So a lot of the deep fried food was based around chicken, but also mozzarella sticks. But you made it so that way I couldn't eat mozzarella, which sucked, but that's all good because in the end it'll be worth it. I'm just excited to meet you. We're already preparing so much for you to be here, even though it's September and we're not gonna meet you until March. Either a little bit before or a little bit after. It's all kind of dependent. If you're wondering what your father does right now, he works at a place called Firestone in Cicero, New York. I don't work yet. I am finishing up school. I'm taking psychology, sociology, consumer and personal financing, and economics and participation in government. I have 2 gym classes, and I still have to take a health class, as well as when I was younger, I took quite a lot of art classes, and I used to love photography. When you come, I'm going to be at home with you, and I'm going to have a tutor come 2 hours a day so I can stay with you and graduate. Now, another thing I do, and this is why I do not have to take an English or a science credit this year, I am in a program at a place called City BOCES. And basically, this is a way for you to get your job process started. I am in there for cosmetology, but that is actually a backup plan for me. I want it because if anything comes down to it, I will get my license for free, essentially. I'm gonna have to go back next year to finish up hours, but get my license essentially pretty much paid for. And I'm going to try to go to college for psychology and sociology so that way I can be a psychologist, because that was something that I've always wanted to do. I want you to know that in the future, if me and your father are not still together, that we both love you. We both love you very, very much. And if we split up, it's for a good reason. But I don't feel like we will right now. I don't. But if you ever have a question about that, if me and your father ever do split up, it would be for a very, very good reason. It wouldn't be just because. Your dad is an amazing person. As most people our age would have walked out the door and told you to figure it out on your own, he stuck by my side. As well as most people would have told him he had no say in decisions when it came to their body, because you're in my body. I have made your father a part of every decision when it's come to you, because I feel like he has equal say in everything, because you're not just part of me, you're part of him. I want you to know that you are loved, though. That's the biggest thing behind all this, because I know things can get rough as you grow up. And my biggest thing is I just want you to know that you're loved by so many people. And if you're ever upset about anything, we're all here to talk to you. And we're all here as a support for you. Even if we're busy with something, you're more important than whatever we might be busy with. Because we all love you. Doesn't matter if we're doing bills or filling out paperwork or in a business conversation or whatever it is we're doing. If you need someone, we're there. You just have to say something. Sometimes people can't always notice what's right in front of them. I would know that. But I never want you to feel alone or unloved or hated. I want you to know that you are 110% loved. You are made of love. It's the most important thing to me that you know all that. You're very important to me. I'll continue to make videos and I'll continue to make the scrapbook, and I'll just so that way you can look back and you can look at every message of love and care and even some of the hardships we've gone through for you. You're all worth it. You are 110% worth every minute of every second of every day, through the nausea and the disgusting medicine. You're worth it all. Every single piece of it. And I really can't wait to see you. I love you. And, of course, you will obviously get to know how everyone feels when we find out your gender. And when we find out which name we get to give you. And I'm gonna take you along for everything, because I think it'd be nice for you to see it all.